Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so today we're diving into a pretty fascinating collision between two completely different worlds. On one hand, you have the endless, fast-paced, infinite scroll of social media, and on the other, the super rigid, highly structured halls of academic formatting. We are talking about citing the scroll, specifically how to properly integrate TikTok into Harvard referencing based on our source material. I mean, it's a question that honestly might have sounded completely absurd just a few years ago, right? But today, it's absolutely vital. How do you cite a TikTok? When you're scrolling and you find that perfect piece of primary evidence on your feed, how do you actually translate that fleeting digital moment into a formal academic paper without completely losing your credibility? Well, let's find out. All right, Section 1, Anatomy of a Citation. Let's dissect this reference. It actually takes a surprising amount of detail to pin down a short-form video. The source material outlines 7 vital components, kind of like organs, that you absolutely have to get right to keep your citation alive. You need the creator's handle, the year, the caption or brief description, explicitly naming TikTok as the platform, the exact posting date, the direct video URL, and finally, your access date. And here's the kicker, if you skip even one of these, like the day you accessed it, the whole anatomy of your citation basically falls apart. Moving on to Section 2, specific rules and timestamps, because, assembly really matters here. So, dealing with digital identity can be a little tricky. You've got a creator's real name on one side and their account handle on the other. The source makes a great point here. If an account actually provides both, you have to include both. But wait, you can't just throw them in at random. Different universities tweak the Harvard style slightly, so you always have to check your specific institution's guidelines to figure out which one comes first. And precision is literally everything. If your discussion focuses on a really specific moment, a quote, or an action in the video, you can't just drop the link and expect your reader to go hunting for it. The rule is incredibly simple. Use a timestamp. You can think of it as a precise GPS coordinate that directs your reader exactly to the evidence. All right, Section 3, what not to cite. These are the strict boundaries. The source material lays down a super strict boundary here. Quote, do not cite the TikTok homepage or search results. Let that sink in for a second. Those general pages are entirely driven by algorithms, right? They change every single second. Your reference absolutely has to be a static, permanent anchor to one specific video, not this shifting digital landscape. Which brings us to Section 4, Ethics and Evidence Suitability. Time to evaluate our sources. So is it actually suitable evidence? Before you even start stressing about the formatting, the source prompts us to stop and critically question the media itself. Just because a video went viral or even if it seems highly informative, that doesn't automatically mean it carries the academic weight, the peer-reviewed backing, or the factual rigor that's required for your research. And beyond just factual suitability, we really need to talk about the ethics of personal content. This is a massive, vital warning from our source. Think about it. If you take a really vulnerable vlog or someone's personal lived experience and you insert it into a highly scrutinized, formal academic setting, are you respecting their original context? It's a pretty profound reminder that behind every single digital citation is a real human being. Okay, Section 5, the generator solution. Let's look at a practical workflow. So how does all this translate into an actual day-to-day workflow? Well, the source offers this brilliant 2-step shortcut. Step 1 does require a little bit of manual labor. You have to gather the creator, the date, the caption, and the direct link yourself. But once you have those verified details, Step 2 is basically magic. You just plug them into the Harvard Reference Generator at harvardreferencegenerator.co.uk. It instantly generates a perfectly formatted reference for you, completely taking that mechanical heavy lifting off your plate. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a provocative thought to chew on. How will future digital media challenge our academic boundaries next? We've literally just seen how these rigid, traditional standards are having to bend to accommodate a platform that's entirely based on short-form scrolling. As new digital formats inevitably emerge, the rules are going to keep changing. The main takeaway here for sure is that as digital researchers, we have to stay adaptable, stay curious, and always keep questioning the media we consume. Thanks so much for exploring this with me.